Zolak and Bertrand.
I want to happen to him what happened to you. Happen.
It was an intoxicating environment, and I got intoxicated.
Why does this keep happening?
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
Giannis would walk in better than Tatum. That's how I feel. Like, he'd be the focal point on a team with those two guys. And, do you want to take that step back if you're Tatum potentially? That's where he might have a say. Does he want to keep playing with Jaylen? I know we always talk about the Jaylen-Jayson relationship, but he might like playing with Jaylen and doesn't want to see him go. There's a million different ways he could feel about more significant trades here. But, I'm sure he didn't want to see Smart go in 2020.
This is the interesting thing, right? On that question alone, that's an interesting debate. If the idea, you have a faction of people that, are particularly upset just in that Sixers series, just looking at the usage, thinking this was loser ball. And so how do those people who want to move on from Jaylen so Jayson can do his own thing reconcile bringing in Giannis, who has his own level of gravity and his own thing going on where he's his own superstar entity?
That is from CLNS. It's Bobby Manning and John Zannis talking about if Tatum even wants Giannis. If Tatum doesn't want Giannis, then I would ask, what do you want exactly? What is it that you are seeking if he doesn't want Giannis and doesn't like the Giannis idea? Giannis is a better fit for him and for this team and will help him be the very best player he can be, even though he will be a bigger star and a guy who actually has won the MVP now on the court with them. So is it about that? Is it an ego thing if he doesn't want him? That to me is problematic. And I don't know that that's true. I'm just saying if it's true. Do you think he would want him?
If Brown's leaving, you'd have to.
No, that's not the question. Yeah. It's, do you want to swap out Brown for Tatum? Would he view losing Brown, swapping him for Tatum is better than what he currently has going on?
That's a great question. I mean, they're pretty much a contender every year with those two together, meaning Tatum and Brown. And if you shift away from that,
all right, it's not about that though.
Yeah, but if he shifts away and it doesn't work, he's going to look bad. Seriously,
does he have to take a back seat to Giannis?
Yes, I think the answer to that is yes. You're going to.
Is that why he wouldn't want him? Because he would have to take a back seat?
Let's go back to the interview that we just played yesterday when he talked about his goals.
Does he have to be Robin?
What were the goals? What were the goals yesterday we talked about? Winning a championship and being finals MVP.
Correct.
And if you're bringing in a guy that's been an MVP before and a finals MVP and it's going to be his show. Now, I know that Jaylen Brown won finals MVP, and he's the Robin and always will be, but I do think that there's a pecking order there when it comes to the Boston Celtics, and no matter what Jaylen Brown does, he's never going to surpass Jayson Tatum here. You don't have to worry about that. Giannis comes in day one. I think there's a real chance that Jayson Tatum is now Robin.
Kevin Garnett came in with Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce accepted it. Did Paul Pierce's legacy get better or worse with the presence of Kevin Garnett?
Better.
It only got better, and we still love him just the same.
He's the ultimate Celtic.
He is more of a Celtic than Kevin Garnett in my mind.
Absolutely, 100%.
The same way Jayson Tatum will be more of a Celtic than Giannis could ever be.
Totally.
It doesn't matter. So if it's just ego, it's stupid, and it's a loser's mentality. That's what I would say. And I don't know. Again, I'm going to keep marking this, and I don't know that that's the case. He might love this idea and be all about it, but I'm just reacting to that clip because it's interesting, because they also talk about fans, that fans might be conflicted because they want JB out of the way for Tatum. I don't want that. I don't need JB out of the way for Tatum.
No, fans should be get JB out of the way because we want Giannis here. Then Giannis becomes the star.
Yes, bingo. Yes. Yeah, I'm all about this.
Yeah, look at the kids in elementaries. They got Giannis jerseys. Yeah, that's the way the NBA is. You root for stars. You don't really root for your team. There aren't many fan bases that just root for their team, especially in that sport. I think it's across the league, and Giannis would be superstar here, absolute superstar. My God, the great teamers would elevate him. Ooh. Would that affect?
I really wonder if you put it to Tatum right now after hearing that clip of him wanting a Finals MVP, where you say, "Hey, listen, you're going to get Giannis and win the Finals the next 2 years. You're going to have 3 rings. You are going to be in a position where you have multiple banners up there. and you will win it a couple of times over the next few years because you had Giannis. Or you can try to win it yourself, maybe with Jaylen Brown or others, for the next 6 or 7 years, and you might get it and you might win Finals MVP. Which one would he take?
I would choose the Giannis one.
I would take the Giannis one, yeah.
Because if you do it with Brown again and you get there and say he outplays you in the finals and he gets the MVP again, it would be a killer for him.
The NBA Finals MVP, I'm sorry, all due respect to Cedric Maxwell, it is not that big of a deal.
Winning another championship and holding up Finals MVP.
I can't tell you who all the Finals MVPs were.
No, I'm with you. And
it doesn't hold up, and it's not a legacy item. And for Max, it is. You know why? Because he wasn't Larry Bird or Kevin McHale or Robert Parrish, the big three of that era of Celtics basketball. He was obviously early in that. But it's a thing because he wasn't one of the guys, so to speak, that get on the posters and are on the autograph photos in basements across New England, right? That's why it gets remembered. Because say, hey, he was a really good player, and we remember when he won the Finals MVP because he had a great series. But if Larry Bird had won it, does anyone give a damn?
No.
Nobody cares.
Look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry finally won one, the fourth one. But if he had walked away and hadn't won one, are you going, oh, you know what, though? The thing about him, he never won a finals.
And he was one of these children that wanted it, too. He spoke about, I want the Finals MVP, to which y'all say, why?
All right, cool. Did it really change your legacy that much?
Your legacy is that you were the best player on a team that won multiple times. Mm-hmm. That's the legacy. Who cares that you won the NBA Finals MVP?
Sometimes that sport makes you individual.
Well, it's the league. Yes. It's a problem.
It sucks.
It was a problem for Steph Curry too, but he was so damn good. He was unstoppable.
Jaylen Brown is getting ripped for saying this is my most satisfying year. It's my favorite year, even though he didn't win. But he thought he personally took a step forward, did something different, and people are chastising him for it.
There's been one obscure NBA Finals MVP in the last 25 years. It's Iguodala. And he's no slouch.
No. I would say this, too. If this is true, and again, we have to keep saying this because I don't want to present it as if this is something that we know is going on or suspect is going on. But play this. He doesn't feel it's right for him or the team. He doesn't want to take a backseat to anybody. He's not on board with getting Giannis. Could he block it? Could he tell the Celtics, no, I think this is bad and I don't want to do it? No. Do you think that they care what he thinks?
I do.
They care, but he can't block it.
I think he could.
Well, if they care, then why couldn't he? If they actually legitimately care,
the player should never have that power.
This is the NBA.
Yeah, I liked what Steve Bisciotti said about finding the next head coach, and then someone asked him if Lamar has the power to pick it. I said I consider his opinion very much, but he will never have the power to pick it. I do. That's the way it should be. But you should care what he thinks.
So what happens if Jayson Tatum then rolls in and says, I want out? I don't want to be here anymore.
Then trade his ass. You don't want to be here? I don't want you.
So wait, they're going to trade him and get Giannis?
No.
How does that play out?
He's playing fantasy land over there, too.
Well, yeah, but this is what we do. This is the activity.
Yeah, you don't want to be here? Get out.
And then your team is what?
Giannis and whatever you get for Tatum?
Yeah. Well, that's a horrible idea. That's the worst of ideas, which is exactly why he has the ability, I think, to say, no, I don't want this and we shouldn't do it. And they do care. I agree with you, Tim, which means they're going to have to massage
sell him on it.
His ego and sell him on the idea if he's not bought in. And by the way, he should be bought in on this idea. He should be on board with any idea where they are motivated to try and make the team better and set him up for more success. And I think Giannis is a different style of player from him, so different that it can only help him.
And if you're as good as you think you are, and if you're as good as you say you are, you just go out and play. Nobody should be able to affect you if you're that damn good.
Yeah.
Then you're not really the guy if it affects you that much and it's going to bug you. No, assert yourself.
And go win.
Yeah.
More than over everything else, go win.
I mean, if there's a year where you could sell him on it, I would think coming off of a round one loss to the Sixers and pointing to you and go, man, this group we have right now, Jayson, we're not close.
Right. This should be an inflection point where everybody kind of wakes up and everybody says we've got to do something a little more drastic than what we would like to because we cannot settle.
We got to get you some. We got to get you some help.
You're getting older.
Bingo.
It's 8-9 years. You're coming off a massive injury. Your first massive injury. That's tough to come back from.
Jason, you're healthy again. You're ready to go. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure we put the best lineup around you as we possibly can.
Carlos Heel will tell you, JT's the man. He is Mr. Celtic. Yeah. He's the guy. I love it. No hesitation from him. You're Brown or Tatum guy. JT. I'm JT all the way. Tatum. We've started to pit fans against one another on Brown and Tatum because I feel like we've been pitted against each other on this show about those two players for years now. So don't you say? Wouldn't you say?
Believe it, I believe.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Maybe
to kiss his ass.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe the team can use that to their advantage if they don't pull off one of these big trades.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a path to making them both pissed off and getting the best out of them next year. Jay Williams on Get Up actually discussed that very point. There's also, we're going to get to that, but there's also something floating that I really, really want to talk about because emotionally I am very conflicted. Very conflicted. And that is, would you ever entertain the idea of bringing LeBron James to Boston?
No.
This has brought me great internal strife.
Good.
I am
You're
conflicted.
not a fraud. You're not a fraud.
And
you've hated this guy.
I know. Yes, absolutely.
Prime LeBron, yes. This LeBron,
bring
no.
LeBron to Boston.
It's bad feet.
LeBron to Boston. In a Celtics uniform, wearing the green, playing on the parquet.
Shaq did it.
If Shaq can do it, why can't LeBron? We'll touch on that coming up as well. Stay tuned.
Zoe and Beetle are back with more.
Power Class of New England.
Yep.
On the Sports Hub.
What about this? You get Giannis for Jaylen Brown, and then you go get LeBron.
Well, that's because I think that's going to happen.
I mean, maybe. I don't
Giannis, I've seen, like, okay.
It's certainly the package that would make probably as much sense as any for Milwaukee. Although I'll say this, do you want to completely rebuild? If you're Milwaukee, do you just say, hey, we're going to get as many picks as we can, young players? Because while Jaylen Brown is really good, does he make
Milwaukee
he's not a franchise
player? Right. But if I'm the Celtics, I do the deal in a minute. We've talked about it even more. I mean, it's all over social media now that the Freak would come to Boston in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, if you did get the Freak here and LeBron says, I'll come for league minimum, that's pretty cool.
The Tangway pod there. Talking to Jeff Goodman about the possibility of LeBron.
When did he start doing a pod? Wow.
Talking about if LeBron were to end up here.
Controversy.
Conflicted is what I would say. Conflicted. If the Lakers are going to suggest a pay cut to LeBron James, they are going to have to explain to him why it is they believe he should take a pay cut. And I don't think that that's going to be an easy sell. I don't think that's an easy sell to LeBron to stay in L.A. If they say, we want you, but we want you for less money. It might piss him off. Might piss him off, and he will instead want to walk out the door. Say, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking a pay cut for you. I want the same money I just made. Or something very close to it. I'm not taking some deep discount for the Lakers. Because the Lakers, right now, as it stands, do not represent a great opportunity to win a title. They're not terrible. They're okay. But what if Giannis ends up in Boston, they get Giannis, not the Lakers, and LeBron's free to go wherever he wants, and he says, F you, Lakers. I'll go play in Boston with Tatum and Giannis. Both Nike guys, by the way. Follow the shoe deals. And I'm going to go win a title there, and it's going to be really weird. And that's why I'm intrigued by it, and I'm interested in doing it, because how wild would it be to go from being a villain in that place to winning a title there?
I don't think he's that deep.
I think he is.
He just goes where the money is. It's all about him.
Well, in this scenario, he would not be going for the money.
Correct.
So he'd be going for the story.
Very unusual.
And he'd be going for the win. How memorable and strange would the legacy be for LeBron James if he won a title here?
And that's how he went out. Went out on top with the champions, sailed into the sunset with a championship in Boston.
For a team that has been a rival of his entire career, whether it was in Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland, and now the ultimate rivalry in the NBA, which is Lakers-Celtics.
Yeah.
To go to that team in a city that he doesn't particularly like, by the way. If you've ever heard LeBron talk about Boston, I don't think he loves it.
No.
I don't think he's a fan. But I think he's a fan of those two players. And he blocks all of that out, and he goes and he plays for the Celtics. Would you even want it? Would you want it? Year 24, LeBron James on the floor with Giannis and Tatum.
From a sports radio perspective and us 4 hours a day here, yes.
Bet your ass I
At
want
home,
it.
no.
As a Celtics fan, it's freaking weird, man.
It's weird.
That is so weird. LeBron? Here?
Yeah.
Not like LeBron in his prime where you're like, okay, I'm a LeBron fan
Yes,
now.
yeah,
Okay. This is LeBron at the end.
He's like, so it's too many videos of him going out, like being so rude to people. He'd piss people off in like the seaport. He wouldn't be able to go anywhere here.
This is Jack Clark. That's what this is.
Man, throw all culture that you've built, though, out the window.
Yeah.
I would be so nervous that we're looking at, like, 2019 Kyrie again, where you're like, man, we had stars just hijacked this season, and they were unhappy, and you didn't win right away, and then they were moody, and Giannis talked about wanting to leave, and LeBron checked out, and everything that you've built now is just up in flames.
All right, but these guys are not jerks. Like, LeBron's not a jerk.
Okay, we also saw him stop playing his first time in Cleveland here in Boston because he wanted out. Like, he has checked out in the past. Is he going to do it in his final season?
Is he a bad teammate?
Probably not.
Probably not.
You ever gotten that vibe from him?
No.
But is this going to be about him? Because he's going to be doing the farewell tour.
How many years has he been in LA? 3
Is he going to? He's not going to be your number one option. I think he's aware of that. But is this whole season just going to be about LeBron James and going to every single city and going?
It might be.
What's
fan,
the present I'm getting?
As a fan, I hate the idea because I feel like he could be such a distraction.
Yeah.
He could. It'd just be a distraction, is what you're describing.
Yes.
A distraction that is it worth it? And I would say probably not. But as a sitting in this chair every
Oh man, you get so much juice
what a
out of that.
blast
Yeah.
that would be. Just the entertainment factor, the fun of it all, of that trio here in Boston. And a pissed off LeBron mad at the Lakers. Oh, come on. Come on. That's good, clean fun. I just can't picture him running around a Celtics uniform every night.
It'd be cool if
what a mind bleep.
Jaylen Brown somehow finds his way out to LA and he's out there with Luka and they add somebody else and it's like Lakers Celtics in the finals. That'd be a fun one. Get LeBron here. Giannis. Yeah.
But it would have to be LeBron on the mission saying, I got to win a title. I got to win another one.
That would have to be the goal,
there.
right?
That has to be the goal. There has to be buy-in from everybody involved. That it is a must-win sort of situation and that there is great urgency to go do that. That's what I would root for.
You think Tatum buys into that scenario, by the way?
I think he would because I think he would kneel at the altar of LeBron James. I do. LeBron James is so, in terms of like stature in the NBA, is so high.
Yes.
That you don't have to sell Tatum on that. It's like Tatum.
Jordan. Even all the current basketball players.
He's here now.
Top 5 basketball players all the time. It's always Jordan, LeBron, then somebody else. They always elevate him to number 2.
I mean, not from like on the court, but just from like media and coverage and like all that stuff.
Because
Tatum's third banana.
In the long run, it's going to make Tatum a bigger thing in the NBA. He's already a huge deal. But if you put those three together, and now for again, until the end of time, you talk about Tatum, LeBron, and Giannis together. Right? And as I mentioned earlier, those autograph photos across all the basements in New England of KG and Pierce and Allen and Larry Bird.
Big three.
Right. I mean, this is like a legendary NBA big three.
You better win, man. You better win.
Yeah.
And it will be, and you know what it will serve as if Tatum plays it right? The passing of the torch from two great players of a generation to the next. Here, Tatum, you're the next great guy.
The chosen one.
And get him his MVP in the coming years. League MVP.
Yep. No, I mean, it'd elevate them from just think about that.
It absolutely
You have that
will.
offseason, they're the biggest team by far in the NBA in terms of just ratings and must watch.
And why do those guys want to come to Boston? Why would Giannis want to come to Boston right now for Tatum?
Mm-hmm.
Why would LeBron be willing to do it? Because it's Tatum.
Championship, center stage again, right?
Tatum are tight. Those guys are buds.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Green Team fraud fans have to root for LeBron.
Oh, I know.
They hate him.
Oh, I know. It's in the blood to hate LeBron.
They hate him to his core. And they'd have to cheer it. And they would.
What a blast, though. What an absolute weird turn of events. Harrison Roxbury, take it away.
Beetle, man, the second you made that suggestion, I jumped for joy because if you just put your hate aside for LeBron, even if you had Tatum and Brown, LeBron is the perfect fit for this team because he's a great passer, great rebounder. He can make if Tatum and Brown gets hurt, LeBron can step in. LeBron can't really play 40 minutes a night like he used to because he's old, so he doesn't want to take over the team. It's a perfect fit. I even had a sign and trade. Say LeBron wants his money, you trade White and Hauser and a second-round pick to the Lakers just to make the money work.
Harris is even making the money work now, guys. Harris is so bought in. He's bought in, and he's got methods to make it work. I think a big part of this would be LeBron taking short money to do it.
Yeah.
Which is what Tangway and Jeff Goodman were talking about. Yeah. John's in Dartmouth. Hey, John. I'm going to put you on hold, John. I'm trying to figure that out. Mark in North Carolina. Hi, Mark.
Hey, guys. Love you guys. Been listening since 2010.
Thank you.
I just wanted to 100% agree with Zolak. The way I look at it is we only got 5 years left with Tatum anyway. And beyond that.
Hello?
Oh, cliffhanger.
Oh, call us back, Mark. I don't know what happened. Steven Carver. Hi, Steve.
Hey, so how many roster spots are you going to have to delegate for nepotism between Giannis?
That's a great point. That end of the bench.
And the end of the bench. It's going to be a bunch of their kids and siblings. And Deuce, don't forget him. But
how could you?
I don't think this is going to happen. But at least that team would not jack up 53 pointers in a game 7 of a playoff series. At least that team would play around the rim. So that's the only benefit I could get out of thinking about LeBron and Green.
Well, I think you're on the right track there, Steve. LeBron serves as a check on everybody. He's been there, he's won, and he would be the first guy to tell a coach he's an idiot. I mean, he's done that a million times. He's a coach killer. He's an absolute coach killer. But he's at the stage of his career where he's not wrong. He's like, hey, game 7, guys. He would be the one of them all. Hey, no more threes. Okay, we got to get to the bucket. No more threes. And he would become the coach.
Yeah. I wonder how Joe would deal. How do you think Joe and LeBron would get along?
Not well, because I don't think any coach gets along well with LeBron. I think he's probably a hard guy to be the coach of.
Yeah, when he just blows past you and doesn't address you.
Which of his coaches have really
a lights out relationship with?
Yeah. So I think Spoelstra.
He did with Ty Lue, and then remember he said, "Get out of my chair" at the end of it. Was the most emasculating thing you've ever seen.
I think Spoelstra handled him the best, and then he just was like, "You okay? You do your thing."
Yeah, it's probably the play. Yeah,
and he's still there.
Yeah, he survived it because he was like, "All right, defer to LeBron. Fine, all good." Ty Lue. Yeah, there was one. Wasn't that he was handpicked by LeBron?
Yes, handpicked by LeBron. Yeah, and then he kicked him out of his chair. Then he said, "Get out."
Unbelievable.
So I do think that exists. I think Stephen Carver's right about that. Well, they'll do fewer stupid things because LeBron won't let them do stupid things. He'll just take over as coach. All right, I want to mix something else in. We'll keep talking LeBron with you, of course. But what if none of this happens? What if they don't get Giannis? They can't complete a trade for Brown. They're not looking to trade Brown. And they come back with the same team next year. Jay Williams had a thought on Brown v. Tatum. We'll get to it next.
No matter where.
Smoking meats in the Fenway.
No matter when.
Here we go. Ad-lib time.
That's awesome.
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
It is still a fascinating thing for him to say because it is not usually what you hear NBA players say they're looking for.
I have no problem with Jayson Tatum talking about what some of his individual accomplishments that he wants to attain are. But I then will often say, Greeny, that when you ask a player, hey, what are your goals? As a leader, you always say, we want to win championships. I want to win 3, I want to win 4. You probably don't say 6 or 7 like LeBron, but you say, like, I want to win championships. Sure. And when you start hearing about the individuality of it, and then you see that combined with things that have led over time with Jaylen Brown, you start wondering, like, it's naturally awkward between those two. Now, can they coexist? Potentially, if they have strong leadership. But as we were talking about sometimes, PJ, a lot of times organizations are the ones that pit the best players against each other.
What does that mean?
100%. It's the most subtle little things that you would never think about. Almost childish even sometimes.
Like?
There are things like being late to a plane, getting a meal first, getting cookies on the plane. Like, it's the dumbest.
They treat
it's a lot of dumb
certain
way. And, on some organizations, they just flat out say it. This is the number one guy. Everybody else fall in line. This is what it is.
Okay.
Is the suggestion there that the Celtics should pit players against one another? That they're going to get the best out of Tatum and Brown by declaring one of them the guy, or not declaring the guy and then letting them fight it out to see who it is?
Let them fight it out. Absolutely.
Which would mean you start treating Brown a special way and not Tatum to piss him off? To get the best out of him?
How would you do that, though?
You just heard stupid, silly little ways.
He gets the cookie second.
Yeah, he gets
what did they have?
He gets an extra package of Biscoffs on the team flight. I don't know.
It's like that whole Marcus Smart thing, too. It's like, well, my picture's not in there, too. How come it's that type of bitching. Like, it would have to be something marketing-wise.
Where they market Brown and not Tatum to get more out of Tatum. Or they market
like
Tatum
Brown's
more.
got to come out with some big commercial. Like, oh, wow, that's showing everyone.
Who do you get more out of if you treat the other one poor?
You get more out of Brown, but I think that you get less out of Tatum.
I'm with you on that, by the way.
Well, Brown's been used to being the offcast. He's the chip on the shoulder.
And that's worked for him, too.
Yeah.
If you treat Tatum in a special way, it's no different than the way you've always treated him.
You haven't heard Tatum say, hey, keep this thing together. We don't want Jaylen to go anywhere.
What if you try and throw the chip onto his shoulder and not Jaylen Brown's for once? Does that work? I have no idea.
Right.
Personality-wise, they're very different guys.
No.
I have no idea.
No, it doesn't.
Mark in North Carolina emailed. He apologized for getting cut off, but he wanted to sum up what he was going to say. He said he agrees with Zoe.
Thank you, Mark.
I didn't really hear you say this, but he agrees. He's just going to give you credit for this take.
For what?
Jayson Tatum will be a Celtic for about 5 more years. And so the team should tell him to suck it up and deal with whatever new player they bring on board. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can realistically get 2 or 3 elite years out of Giannis, which would match up perfectly where the timeline is in Jaylen in his career arc, so to speak. And you're only going to have Jaylen for another couple of good years anyway. The Celtics aren't going to want to give up the massive extension because it's just too much money for a second option. That, of course, he's talking about the money for Brown that he'll be eligible for. He said, add for Tatum, keep him for the duration of the contract, spend the time building around him with Giannis and whatever young talent we could draft or trade for. It's a better long-term plan for the franchise than re-upping Jaylen and being stuck with his contract. How do you guys see those timelines breaking out for all 3? I think he's right. I think as much as we talk about Brown will decide if he wants to be here based on the offer, do the Celtics want to offer him that money and have that contract? Especially if you hear that his trade value in the offseason a year ago wasn't great.
No.
You're going to make his trade value less if you give him the extension, which means he's here. You give him the money, he's here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think they're sort of at a decision point, and I think Mark is right to bring it up. The Celtics have a decision to make on the future of Brown in this timeline.
Yeah, and I think Felger and Maz were on this too, and they were right to an extent. Like go back and listen to that thing that Brown was talking on. He said, I'd want to be here for another 10 years, but it's not up to me. He said, that's the trigger word for, hey, it's on them, that's contract. I go where the money is, and that's where all those players go. They go where the money is.
Doug in St. Pete wrote in, hey, LeBron won't let the team do stupid things unless it's stupid things that LeBron wants, like Bronny on a roster and making a few million bucks. That's different than from in-game, though. I was referring to the in-game stuff. Well, there's plenty of other things that LeBron will demand.
Well, I mean, that's the culture part that I was talking about, right?
Giannis and LeBron bring family with them.
Yeah, your roster's down to 10 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're 10 deep because the last 5 there are going to be family and friends.
Yeah, friends and family plan.
Can't wait to see LeBron in his suits on game day, like this ones with shorts, where he wears the shorts and then the suit coat with the hat. Yeah. Socks up to his knees. Ugh.
It'll be nice to have LeBron in town, though, won't it? They have him around town, being a Celtic.
Wonder where he'll live.
Mike and Rockland, what do you got on that? LeBron James in Boston?
Yeah, I was just thinking, outside of the basketball aspects, would LeBron be good for the Red Sox? I mean, think about it. He's part of the Fenway Sports Group. He starts playing for the Celtics. He starts going to more Red Sox games. He sees how disappointed the fans are. Now he's right in John Henry's backyard. He starts chirping in his ear, helping him recruit big stars, telling Henry to spend more money, improve his portfolio. It could be good for the Sox in the long run.
I love that angle, Mike. Red Sox minority owner LeBron James now plays in Boston. I can introduce him if you'd like. Minority owner LeBron James. There it is. Thank you. All right. You get him out over there. You get him in his luxury box.
Throwing out the first pitch.
Wearing his LeBron Red Sox jersey. I love that. I love that for them to have LeBron. My Red Sox minority owner, LeBron James, at the ballpark on a more regular basis. I'd put LeBron James in charge of the front office right now over Craig Breslow if that was an option. There you go. You could figure it out.
Sorry, Brez.
Sorry, Brez. We got Bronny instead.
Can you talk like a robot, LeBron?
Yeah, and stiff.
I wonder if he's still reading that book he reads in between games.
What's the book?
It's always done when he's pedaling on the thing. It's always like on the first page. All the pictures of LeBron.
What's
your reading?
Brez. I was like,
no,
LeBron. What's your favorite part? All of it? Yeah.
All of it. Yeah. Was the one that was upside down or something?
Where to start?
Marty's in Marblehead. Hey, Marty.
I'm so happy about the LeBron talk today. I texted my Celtics thread, Celtics haha fun time yesterday, and brought up LeBron, and I got, jeers from them. But the reality is I hate LeBron off the court as much as anybody. In fact, the thing that he did with the Lakers about the game ball complaining, he's so petty. But on the court, it's undeniable. And for years it's been undeniable. And the Red Sox take is hilarious. So I think that Boston, loves the man in the arena above everything else. And I just think people would put that aside, especially if he came here and gave us a full season or a full season or two, which I think it's probably a short contract like you guys are saying. But I just love it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And if you get Giannis and it's LeBronis and you have that going for you too, I mean, the world could be so sweet writing those headlines. I'm glad Gary Tingway has a podcast too. I gotta go
Yes, thank you.
I'd love to see Celtics fans scream at the refs when LeBron falls down and there's no contact.
We've gone digital. Yes. LeBron James reportedly felt disrespected by the GM of the Lakers, according to ESPN. Tensions came to a head after a game against the Cavaliers in late March. LeBron had just become the player with the most combined wins in NBA history. He passed Kareem. Moments later, Rob Pelinka walked into the locker room holding the game ball. Pelinka did not give it to LeBron James. He handed it off to head coach J.J. Redick, who that night had his 100th coaching win in the NBA. Sources told ESPN that James saw Pelinka's decision as the Lakers taking him for granted and that it was part of a larger pattern. James felt with the Luka trade that the franchise was trying to push him out the door.
Oh, my God. I'm going to throw up.
And the game ball thing solidified his thoughts on this. He thinks the Lakers don't want him. He's probably going to leave.
Good news is Joe Mazzulla is not going to want that game ball. Right? That's not his style.
Defer. Yeah.
Yep. No, thank you. Don't need that. Remember LeBron on that podcast talking about Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have that audio. We should probably pull that out of the archives, T-Bone. What do you think? Can we do that?
That is great.
LeBron on Mazzulla. And more of your thoughts on this idea, this wacky idea of LeBron coming to Boston. It's all on the way.
Sir.
This hour of Zolak and Bertrand is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-thru oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
We're back with more Zolak and Bertrand.
I mean, those are the things I'm working on with third graders.
On the Sports Hub.
How do you feel about fouling up 6 to keep it a 2-possession game?
Joe Mazzulla did that in game 1 in overtime. I don't know if you caught it.
I don't think I caught it.
Okay. So, and I can't even remember. I think it was TJ McConnell. He fouled somebody. They're up 6 in OT. They're bringing the ball
Joe
to the
Mazzulla
right
guy's
side.
a genius, huh?
Joe Mazzulla fouled and sent them to the free throw line.
No,
it is the first time I'm like, oh, foul up 6. I like that.
The more and more I talk to you, the more and more I like this Joe guy. Because I'm starting to get some... Yeah.
You got to think outside the box a little.
You absolutely. And I see why he sits over there and he says absolutely nothing and he's calm as f***. He only gets a little like when like he knows they're not playing the right way offensively. It's never defensively. It's never because of the 3-point attempts. It's never ever if a team makes a run. He's calm.
It's from May of 2024. LeBron and Redick talking about Joe Mazzulla. LeBron is a fan. Can you tell? Okay,
yeah,
no,
he doesn't say anything. Like, LeBron's like, he's the same guy. And LeBron's like, I respect that because some guy's not going to jump my ass, you know? Always has an opinion. Like, he just studies the game. He sits there quietly and just observes and enacts.
Well, he's also talking about strategy and that Mazzulla intentionally fouling up 6 at the end of a game. Again, 2 years ago on the Mind the Game podcast, he called it effing genius what he was doing in that situation.
Like stuff Belichick would do to kill clock at the end.
He admired him. He admired Mazzulla, and you could tell that he had studied Mazzulla while playing against him, watching him, seeing when it is he would get upset, when it is he would get demonstrative, if you will. And he likes him. So add that into the mix on LeBron potentially becoming a Celtic as we play this out for the season. Pat's in Franklin. Hey, Pat.
I want him out. I want Jaylen Brown out. Give me LeBron. Jesus. I mean, this guy, he just wants to have his own team. I'm sick of it.
Is there something new that you're reacting to?
No. What you just told me just right now, I think LeBron kind of wants to be a Celtic.
Yeah, I think so.
Am I being?
No, I think he does.
Am I being dumb?
No, I think you're right on track there, Pat.
I'm on this.
You're on it.
Shut up, Pat.
All right, so landing spots for LeBron, right? If he's going to leave the Lakers, it would be what? Cleveland potentially. Go back to Cleveland for a third time.
That's like quitting and giving up.
It's overdone.
Right?
Yeah, that's just throwing it away.
People have thrown out Golden State. That's an old team, though, man. Like, you're not going to compete. Like, the Celtics, Giannis, Tatum.
How about he doesn't move and he goes across town to the Clippers?
I say he just stays Lakers. Like, just think about it, man. You're wearing 23. You know, Jordan wore 23. You're playing for the Lakers, man. You know what that means for like a basketball player to put on the yellow and that purple? Just to have that old time, yellow. Not the new uniforms, the black ones. I'm talking about the old school ones. Like you're playing in LA, man. It's big time. That's got to he's got to be so happy there. Because that's the Mecca. It is. I know we love Boston here and that, but man, Laker basketball out there like that, the NBA, that's Showtime, baby. And it's his team. I think he stays there. I think he stays there and finishes out and gives a good goodbye tour out there. I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think he wants to pick up and move again.
Well,
especially for less money.
He doesn't have to move out here. He's going to rent a condo.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like his full time home is in L.A. now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he built a monster.
It's always going to be there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think he's ever going to leave L.A.?
No shot.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
I don't know if you can say. I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess that's true. There's definitely isn't. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Oh, he was on
FaceTime. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. Right?
I mean, I guess that's probably true.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really? I wasn't even aware of that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know you're deep into the archives there at the Diddy parties. I know you're a big fan.
He wouldn't fit in that cage like Meek Mill.
Sometimes. All right. Anyway, Chris is in Hartford. Hi, Chris.
Wow, this is unbelievable.
It is.
You guys are talking about LeBron and Giannis.
I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
Two guys coming to Boston. So Daddy's home, and here's a reality check. Okay?
Okay.
You guys are going ahead, and I know it's radio and everything. Hey, Zoe, I'm talking. You told me up mine the last time I called, so have a little respect, sir.
Okay. Good point.
So here's the thing. Yeah. You guys need to talk about, with no Brown, how good Kate is going to be next year. With no Brown, how good in growth of Gonzalez. And the growth of Walsh and Shireman. Brad Stevens, this is real simple, and you already had a guy here earlier. Talk about Daniel Gafford, look him up, and listen to how he talks. That is an adult.
Hello.
And go get Anthony Simons, and we will win championships. I'm about championships.
Bad phone.
Yeah.
Bad phone. Bad service. He wants to keep everybody and bring Anthony Simons back? That's championship? Yeah. I couldn't tell for sure because his phone kept cutting out.
Yeah. I think you guys are delusional. I think it's going to be LeBron, Giannis, and Tatum.
I don't know if it's going to be LeBron, Giannis, and Tatum. I do know that Brad Stevens made it pretty clear this is going to be a big offseason based on that press conference, though.
I'd give him Giannis. I think he'd be able to pull that off. I don't think you're going to...
They're going to go the extra mile and bring LeBron in?
Yeah, no. I think that could potentially really screw things up. Then I think you may harm the development. Not development, but step on the toes of Tatum here. You bring Giannis and LeBron in here, Tatum's third fiddle.
Big time.
By far. This has been his team for 9 years. Come on.
Let's go to Ralph. He's in Rhode Island. Ralph?
Hey, guys. First of all, isn't LeBron already a part of the FSG, the Fenway Sports Network?
He's part owner of the Boston Red Sox, yes.
People booed the hell out of that. I mean, if I was him, do a walk-away year. Go out in the way you should go out instead of trying to prove it. You have nothing more to prove. You're one of the greatest of all time. Look, I respect Jay Williams, but Jay Williams is saying that you should pit Brown and Tatum against each other. That's what you're trying to avoid here. You're trying to stop that and make a move if you have to make it. And I'm going to tell you, the only team that's going to give Milwaukee fair value, the only shot you've got a fair value, are the Lakers. It's la-la land. They usually try these kind of things. And if I'm the Celtics, I mean, I like the move if Brown's a problem. You think it's a problem. But I would say to them, look, you want Brown, take him. This guy's going to be a problem down the road. 2 years down the line, I'm hearing Giannis also wants a $250 million 4-year.
Or the money becomes the factor on Brown, and you're locking yourself into Jaylen Brown if you pay him this offseason. So it's really not even about any of those things. Does he want to be here? No, it's do you want him here? Do you want him here, and you want that very large contract to keep him here? Money, big part, as always. We've got a boatload of schedule leaks for you. We will get to those coming up after the headlines. We'll get back into the Patriots schedule. So stay tuned. In a minute or two, we'll be back with the schedule leaks and what we know about the Pats to this point. That's next.